Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiyat Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 19. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs Srila Rupa Goswami, text 153 onwards. So Mahaprabhu told Rupa Goswami about first Brahmanda Brahmita Kono Bhagyavan. So somehow one who is very fortunate, he gets the mercy of Guru and Krishna, and then that Guru and he instructs and gradually he trains the disciple in the process of Shravan and Kirtan, and then the seed begins to sprout. So Bhakti Lata is starting to grow. So what Mahaprabhu says further, Upajiya Bade Lata Brahmand Bhedi Yai Virja Brahma Loka Bhedi Paravyam Pai. As one waters the Bhakti Lata beach, the seed sprouts. So watering of Bhakti Lata beach is Shravan Kirtan and other processes of Bhakti, but Shravan Kirtan is the most important. So the seed sprouts and the creeper gradually grows to the point where it penetrates the walls of this universe and goes beyond the Viraja river. So creeper grows, and how far it grows? It grows, penetrates beyond the walls of this universe. Goes beyond the Viraja river, which is the causal ocean, Karan Sagar, lying between the spiritual world and the material world. Then it attains Brahma Loka, the Brahman effulgence, penetrating through that stratum. It reaches the spiritual sky and the spiritual planet Golok Vrindavan. I mean, I don't think this is a physical creeper growing. But that'll be a very big creeper going all the way to Golok Vrindavan. But it's a Bhakti Lata. So Bhakti grows, goes beyond all the material universe, all the material desires, and then goes even beyond Brahma Jyoti, grows all through all the Vaikuntha planets, goes to and reaches the Golok Vrindavan. A creeper generally takes shelter of a big tree, but the Bhakti Lata, being the creeper of spiritual energy, cannot take shelter of any material planet. For there is no tree on any material planet that the Bhakti creeper can utilize for shelter. In other words, devotional service cannot be utilized for any material purpose. So devotional service cannot be utilized for any material purpose. In our heart, if there are some desires, that's up to Krishna to fulfill. We cannot say, I'm chanting, so I better get a good car or a good job or this or that. That's up to Krishna. Devotional service is meant only for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes men with a poor fund of knowledge maintain that bhakti can be applied to material things also. In other words, they say that devotional service can be rendered to one's country or to the demigods. But this is not a fact. Devotional service is especially meant for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it is beyond this material range. So it is beyond this material range. It's not for anything else. Cannot do it. Cannot do Devi Devta Bhakti. We can do puja, they can worship demigods. But bhakti is for Krishna. There is a river or causal ocean between the spiritual and material natures, and this river is free from the influence of the three modes of material nature. Therefore, it is called Viraja. Viraja. The prefix V means Vigat, completely eradicated, and Rajas means the influence of the material world. On this platform, a living entity is completely free from material entanglement. For the jnanis who want to merge into the Brahman effulgence, there is Brahma Loka. The Bhakti Lata, however, has no shelter in the material world, nor has it shelter in Brahma Loka. Although Brahma Loka is beyond the material world. So this Brahma Loka is not the Brahma Loka where Lord Brahma lives. Brahma Loka here it means Brahm Jyoti. And outside material world, it's all Brahm Jyoti. Spiritual Vaikuntha planets are there, but rest, everything, everywhere is Brahm Jyoti. The Bhakti Lata grows until it reaches the spiritual sky, where Golok Vrindavan is situated. So further Mahaprabhu says, Tabe yaye tadupari Golok Vrindavan, Krishna Charan Kalpa Vrikshe Kare Aroha. Being situated in one's heart and being watered by Shravan Kirtan, the Bhakti creeper grows more and more. In this way, it attains the shelter of the desired tree of the lotus feet of Krishna, who is eternally situated in the planet known as Golok Vrindavan, in the topmost region of the spiritual sky. So it attains the shelter of the desired tree of the lotus feet of Krishna. In Brahm Samhita, it is said, Ananda Chinmaya Ras Pratibhavita Bhistavireya Eva Nijrupataya Kalap. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord. He resides in his own realm, Golok, with Radha, who resembles his own spiritual figure and who embodies the ecstatic potency, Aladini. Their companions are his confidentials, who embody extensions of a bodily form and who are imbued and permeated with ever blissful spiritual rasa. In the spiritual world, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, has expanded himself by his spiritual potency. He has this eternal form of bliss and knowledge, Satchidananda Vigraha. Everything in Golok Vrindavan planet is a spiritual expansion of Sat Chit Ananda. Everyone there is of the same potency, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. The relationship between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his servitor is Chinmaya Rasa. So Chin is eternal Rasa and full of knowledge. Krishna and his entourage and paraphernalia are of the same Chinmaya potency. In this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is expanded throughout the spiritual world. And when that Chinmaya potency expands through the material potency, it becomes all-pervading. So very, very technical. I'm not going to get into details. The idea is that although the Supreme Personality of Godhead exists on his own planet, Golok Vrindavan, he is also present everywhere. He is present within all the universes, although they are innumerable, and he is also present within the atom. So he is everywhere. And he is in his spiritual planet, Golok Vrindavan also. He is also present within the heart of every living entity. This is his all-pervasive potency. Now, Golok Vrindavan is the highest planet in the spiritual world. In order to go to spiritual, after penetrating the covering of the material universe, one must penetrate Brahmalok, the spiritual effulgence. Then one can come to Golok Vrindavan planet. There are also other planets in the spiritual world called Vaikuntha planets. And on these planets, Lord Narayana is worshipped with awe and veneration. On these planets, Shantarasa is present, and some of the devotees are also connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Dasiras. the mellow of servitorship. As far as the mellow of fraternity or Sakhya Ras is concerned, in Vaikuntha, this Ras is represented by Gaurav Sakhya, friendship in awe and veneration. The other fraternity Ras exhibited as Vishram, friendship in equality, is found in Golok Vrindavan. So in Vaikuntha planets, yes, all the rasas are there, but in the predominance there is of Dasya ras. Shantras, Dasya, and in Sakhya, Sakhya ras is there, but Gaurav Sakhya. That Sakhya means in awe and veneration. Just like with Lord Ram, although he considers Sugriv as his friend, but Sugriv is always in awe and veneration or reverence. With respect, he approaches Ram. Krishna, now in Golok Vrindavan, all the rasas are there, but there is no that reverence or respect, that kind of respect. They all are in love. The other fraternity rasa exhibited as Vishram, friendship and equality, is found in Golok Vrindavan. Above that, that is service to the Lord in Vatsalya ras, parental. Now in Ayodhya also, parental love is there. Mother Kaushalya. But her parental love or maternal love versus maternal love of Yashoda, completely different. Kaushalya is still in respect for Ram. But Yashoda is not in respect for Krishna. See, similarly, conjugal rasa is there, Madhuri ras, in Ayodhya also. But Sita Ji's relationship with Ram and Radharani's relationship with Krishna are completely different. Completely. It doesn't mean there is anything lower, but it's just different, completely different. So those devotees of Golok Vrindavan or devotees of Krishna, they are in different mood with Krishna than the devotees of Ram and their mood for Lord Ram. These five rasas are fully exhibited in the spiritual world in one's relationship with the Lord. Therefore, in the spiritual world, the bhakti creeper finds his resting place at the lotus feet of Krishna. So, with Krishna, the mood is different. And since we are followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so the mood is for bhakti for Radha and Krishna. Taha vistarita haya phale prema phale, iha mali seche nitya shravanadija. The creeper greatly expands in the Golok Vrindavan planet, and there it produces a fruit of love for Krishna. Although remaining in the material world, the gardener regularly sprinkles the creeper with the water of hearing and chanting. So, although the creeper has reached the lotus feet of Krishna and has produced the fruit of love for Krishna, still the gardener is regularly nurturing the creeper with Shravan and Kirtan. In Golok Vrindavan, the devotees have very intimate relationships with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The devotee engages in the Lord's service in great ecstatic love. Such love was exhibited personally by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his teachings to the people of the material world. The fruit of the devotional creeper is a pure desire to serve and please the senses of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishnendriya Priti Cha Dhare Premana. So that is prem. Krishnendriya Priti Icha. One who desires to only serve uh, the senses of Krishna with love. That is prem. In the spiritual world, one has no desire other than to please the senses of the Supreme Personality of God. Now, in South India, there are more Shri Vaishnavas, the worshippers of Lakshmi Narayan. So one, of course, they are followers of Ramanujacharya and in Shri Sampradaya, but some tendency or I don't want to say different cult, but their feeling is, see, Prabhupada says, in the spiritual world, one has no desire other than to please the senses of the Supreme Personality of God. But some of these Sri Vaishnavas, wonderful, there's nothing wrong with the philosophy, just what their realization is, that we just serve the Lord as a slave. We don't put a condition on that this is going to please the Lord. They say, you guys put condition that you want to please the senses. I don't. There's not a condition, because serving the Lord means to serve Him, please Him. Why would He engage us in His service if it doesn't please Him? But their feeling is like that. Oh, we just want to serve the Lord like a slave, whether it pleases Him or not. That's his decision. Okay, they have their own understanding. The conditioned soul within the material world can neither understand nor appreciate how a pure devotee in the material world can render the confidential service to the Lord out of feelings of ecstatic love and always engage in pleasing the Supreme Lord's senses. Although seen within this material world, the pure devotee always engages in the confidential service of the Lord. An ordinary neophyte devotee cannot realize this. Therefore, it is said, Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra Vigyena Voja. The activities of a pure Vaishnava cannot be understood even by a learned scholar in the material world. So, although seen within this material world, the pure devotee always engages in the confidential service of the Lord. Something not that it's not conceivable by everybody. Every living entity is wandering within this universe in different species and on different planetary systems according to his fruitive activities. Out of many millions of living entities, one may be fortunate enough to receive the seed of Bhakti Lata, the creeper of devotion service. By the grace of the spiritual master and Krishna, one nourishes the Bhakti Lata by regularly sprinkling it with the water of Shravan Kirtan, hearing and chanting. In this way, the seed of Bhakti Lata sprouts and grows up and up through the whole universe until it penetrates the covering of the material universe and reaches the spiritual. So another understanding of this Bhakti Lata sprouting and growing up and going through the covering of the material universe means the devotee has no desire to be engaged in any of the material activities. Even up to Brahmaloka, it doesn't care. Goes even through Viraja river or the Brahma Jyoti, it doesn't care. Only thing he wants is to serve Radha and Krishna. The Bhakti Lata continues to grow until it reaches the topmost planetary system, Golok Vrindavan, where Krishna lives. There the creeper takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, and that is its final destination. I mean, nowhere else. And devotee doesn't want to get distracted by anybody else, not even in any place in Vaikuntha Loka, only in Golok Vrindavan. At that time, the creeper begins to grow the fruits of ecstatic love of God. So, fruits of ecstatic love. So, bhakti, lata, bhakti is growing, 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 so much of bhakti. So, it grows the fruits, which is love, ecstatic love of God. It's the duty of the devotee who nourishes the creeper to be very careful. It is said that the watering of the creeper must continue. Iha mali seche nitya shravanadi jal. It is not that at a certain stage one can stop chanting and hearing and become a mature devotee. That he doesn't want to chant, doesn't need to chant. Yeah, I've done everything. No. If one stops, one certainly falls down from devotional service. Although one may be very much exalted in devotional service, he should not give up the watering process of Shravan Kirtan. If one gives up that process, it is due to an offense. This is described in the following words. So far, in ISKCON, there was only one devotee that Prabhupada allowed that you don't need to chant. Only one. And that too because he was so busy in his service. He was a cook at Vrindavan, ISKCON Vrindavan temple. And he was cooking all day, every day. He had no help or very little help. And so, because he was so much engaged in the service that he had no time to chant 16 rounds. So he approached Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, okay. But while cooking, he was singing, he was chanting, but not on beats. So far in ISKCON, it is that he was only devotee. But other than that, Prabhupada made sure that we have to follow minimum 16 rounds of chanting. This is like, we have to do it. No ifs and buts allowed. And if one gives up that process, it is due to an offense. Many times it happens. People lose faith, have no enthusiasm to chant. Whatever happens in life, those things keep on happening. Who cares? But chanting has to go on. And at the same time, it's not that we start judging devotees. Oh, he's not chanting, so he must be offensive, this or that. No. Our service is to help anybody, everybody, in whichever way we can. Not judge. We are not here to judge. That is Krishna's position. Our position is to serve. So serve each other by helping them. If somebody is giving up chanting or somebody is not chanting enough rounds, they should just help. Please chant. Okay, somehow Prabhupada has given wonderful commentary, so cannot just run over them, go fast. So we can stop here, see anybody has any questions or comments. Because now Mahaprabhu will talk about this offense. Prabhupada talked about offense, so Mahaprabhu is going to take up this seriousness of offenses further on. So any questions or comments? Okay, you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.
Hare